Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. Excited to announce our new presenting sponsor here as we kick off football season. We'll tell you more about them, but we're presented by Modelo. Calm yourself, Steve Sipple.
That's pretty good. Modelo?
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll tell you more about Modelo. And also off the top, brought to you by Ridge. No better way. You're getting ready for football season. You want to have a small, compatible wallet. Put your license in there. A few credit cards, some cash. Ridge will get you covered. Best wallets on the market for that. Also, unbelievable charging pack devices that can travel with you to keep your phones and devices charged. Luggage. They've got it all at Ridge. And we're proud to be partnered with them on HuskerOnline. They've been a longtime sponsor of the show, but the wallets are the bread and butter. The chargers, we've got a deal at ridge.com. Use the code Husker at checkout for 10% off your order and a chance to win Ridge's biggest sweepstakes ever. Go on to ridge.com to learn more about that, but take advantage of the offer. Promo code Husker to get 10% off with Ridge. Gentlemen, we are approaching game week. Kind of a sleepier, quiet week as far as, they're keeping us away from the action. We got one day of action with a few assistants and players this week, but we will not hear from Matt Rhule this week. We heard from him Saturday. We'll hear from him then on Monday this upcoming week. They're really doing a good job of kind of keeping the position battle stuff under wraps.
They are.
I think they're just like, all right, you'll find out on September 5th.
Right. Matt Rhule will be on the radio Wednesday. Now, is that the full? Do you think that's a full hour?
Usually, yeah, by contract.
So he'll probably say a lot on there. Why do I say that? Because he hasn't said much to us during camp, but it's in-house. I think in-house Husker Radio Network might be more apt to reveal. I don't know that he did not. I don't know. I mean, would he announce certain position groups like the running backs?
I don't know why he would. What does he benefit from that? As long as people internally know. It's kind of how I always approach it. Like the starting quarterback one was obvious because everybody already knew. But like at that point, like why end your competition now? Why don't you just let it continue to play out for another week? So I'd be surprised.
Just the benefit of the fans' interest. People are curious. But no, you don't
hasn't
have
seemed to be
that.
much of a priority this offseason.
No. So yeah, it is kind of limited. It'll be limited.
No.
Today was a big day, and then it just kind of the faucet gets turned off, right?
See you Monday.
And we'll have pizza. They will have pizza, by the way.
They'll feed us.
Yeah.
Now, the faucet was not turned off from AD Troy Dannen on his weekly radio show on Monday.
No, there was like a fire hose.
We have not, we talked to him briefly at Big Ten Media Days, but
you talked to him.
We have not been able to nobody really has to an extent other than the Omaha World Herald sit down and talk with Troy. Kyle Crooks had an outstanding interview with him on the radio show. And I mean, it was like Sipple called me. He's like, where do we go on this? But I think
there's 5 stories.
First and foremost, the sellout streak, they're not worried about that. In fact, I think 1,400 tickets as of Monday remained.
That's right.
And those are going to sell. I mean, so I think the story that WOW wrote that was a little bit out of context, that there were 10,000 remaining seats left.
Well, that was for later games, though.
Yeah, but they were using the scan ticket data based on it was out of context. It was not correct.
Yeah.
And I think
that threw up some red flags.
He got in front of that in, the Bowling Green game.
2,400 left. 2,400, 2,500 left for the Bowling Green game.
We don't know about North Dakota, but there's a concert with North Dakota.
Cole Swindell. And after the Bowling Green game, Sean's going to be so excited. What are you going to do about this, Sean? They're having a huge drone show.
After the game or during the game?
After the Bowling.
Show from the field.
After the game.
I wonder so he said the America 250.
Yeah. That's Bowling Green, right?
At the College World Series on opening night when I was there, they did an America 250 drone show. So I wonder if it's going to be the same one.
Oh, I don't know about the same one, but might be. Yeah, it might be.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he said Dannen said this will put to shame any drone show you've ever seen.
Yeah, the America 250 that the College World Series did was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
So
Sean
I wonder,
loves the drones.
They mixed in a few fireworks to it as well, but I mean there was like a drone of a giant like eagle me. Robin likes eagles.
You like Eagles?
Oh, yeah, bald eagles. Yeah. Way
Modelo and Eagles.
Way into them.
Sounds like a good combo.
Modelo and eagles.
Anyway, we got off track a little bit.
But yeah, the sellout streak.
Yeah.
What
other-
else? You know, the other stuff he addressed, I thought was interesting. The scheduling that they are going to have a Power 4 after next year. So this little 2-year window, 26 and 27, it's pretty much in history the only time Nebraska has not played a Power 4 non-con in like modern era. I mean, I'm talking about when they used to play like the YMCA in like 1892, but like modern era of Nebraska football. You know, and that will change after 27. They've already got Oklahoma State, and Arizona lined up. There's 2 windows, and he said one will be an SEC team, and the other will be another Power 4 conference opponent. And I think immediately on the SEC one, everyone thinks Missouri is probably
because he dropped in the word regional,
and that's the only. I mean, Arkansas is somewhat regional, but there's no really connection to Arkansas and Nebraska. So I think Nebraska, Missouri, maybe in the late 2030s, seems like the play there. I think it's 36 and 37.
Yeah. And then what else?
And then, you might have another opening in the earlier 2030s.
32, 33.
And that could be, I think it could be Colorado. Because the reason I say that is I know when Trev was here, Dave Pilati, who used to work at Colorado, used to handle the scheduling for the Buffs, told me that they were trying to work on that. So I don't know if that's Colorado at that point or who.
That'd be wonderful.
I'm pretty sure Colorado doesn't have any like marquee power conference non-con games scheduled for that window either. So that would totally line up for a no-brainer series.
Oh, it would. And you know what? This is all in the context too of some other kind of pseudo news, or Dannen just said, look forward to the playoff to go to 24 games, or 24 teams next year. I mean, that was a bit of news. 24 teams. Why is that important in this conversation? Because they're going to require you to play 9. In addition to your 9 conference games, play 1 Power 4.
And it might grow to 2.
Could grow to 2. So you better get these on.
And FCS games almost will not be counted at all. Like just kind of thrown out the window as not really a data point.
So, I mean, life is changing into this new world where if you finish 8 and 4 in that scenario, you're probably, you're knocking on the door.
It's like the NFL.
100. Now, the question is, will people's mindset shift? I mean, what do we do now? 8 and 4. Should that guy, is Kalen DeBoer going to keep his job? You gotta shift your mindset. It's going to be a lot different. A lot of conversations, not just, I don't mean to pick on Kalen DeBoer, like the city Nebraska coach, whoever it is. 7 and 5, and that in this coming era is going to look a lot different than 7 and 5 in 1991.
Basically, you just move it up. So like 8 and 4 now is like 9 and 3, 10 and 2, depending on who you play, just because of the degree of difficulty. You can't stockpile wins the way that you used to in previous non-conference scheduling rules.
Now I want to read to you Nebraska. Like I'm just pulling up random Nebraska schedules. In 1982, these were Nebraska's non-conference opponents. Non-conference.
82.
Iowa, Penn State, and Auburn.
In 1 year?
In 1 year.
That's awesome.
And they had New Mexico State as their kind of like their easier game. Then they had the Big 8. And then for good measure, they played Hawaii in Honolulu.
Late
82. And I believe that might have been one of Bremser's last games on the radio.
Let's get that series going again.
The Hawaii series. There'd be no complaints. Simple and I are very familiar with Honolulu.
Just have them be that like week 0
North Shore
11 p.m. Central Time kick. Hawaii always plays that game for all the gambling degenerates that like really want to get that last parlay in. Like we could have Nebraska fill that time slot. Let's do that.
But yeah, you just wonder if truly the schedules are going to ramp up, and also if it does get to a point where everyone's playing 10 P4 games and even 11. Like that's going to really have a ripple down effect to the group of 5 and the FCS because they rely on that inventory to pay their bills. So if they can't get games against P4, a lot of those programs won't make it.
Jeez.
Seriously. Their whole existence is getting those games.
What do you do?
I wasn't ready for that.
But it's just reality.
Yeah.
Like the lower level of Division I football, FCS and group of 5, is relying on those games. So there will be I think a pushback to some degree because those schools can't pay and operate at that
without
level.
that. Speaking of pushback, Dannen got some pushback on a comment he made about the corporate partnerships. He praised First National Bank of Omaha for basically taking charge when the arbitration case was going through all of that in the spring and players needed to be paid essentially. And he praised FNBO, First National Bank of Omaha, and said there's some corporate partners that have backed away, taken steps backward. That was I wasn't quite ready for that. And I think some other people weren't quite ready for that, but there we are. It's a money game. I mean, these are all conversations that are so odd to someone who covered the game the way it used to be.
I don't even know what the comment really meant by the FNBO because it had to be Playfly at that point. They had and a lot of the people that have given money or had deals with Playfly, they like converted into NIL. And so
Sure.
I don't even really know, did they give more money or did they just, what went on in the money washing here to get these deals converted?
I don't know, Marty Bird.
So that's what
Right.
had to happen. They had to put these deals back through and clean them and get something in front of them as a partner. And FNBO clearly.
Ruth had to go to work. See, anyway, I'm sorry about the obscure references. That's just three things. There was a few other things on that show.
Yeah,
that
it
were
was
interesting.
it was good radio. And Kyle was outstanding. I mean,
Yeah, Kyle really does ask good questions, well prepared.
yeah,
Well
it was.
prepared.
I mean, he prepares and listens. He
Well-prepared.
tells me he listens to everything we say, so you better be careful, Sipple.
Yeah. Well, I'm always careful. You know that.
I'm curious what the effect of a comment like that is, though, when you call it your corporate donors. Maybe it's going to nudge some people back into being a little bit more aggressive in their support, but I wonder if there is a risk of having an adverse effect on that, where people are
I
like, wait a
don't
minute,
think so.
we are giving money. What are you talking about?
How much of it, guys, is tied to winning? I mean, just if they win,
Some ROI.
right. If they, you start beating Minnesota, you don't play them this year, but you start beating Iowa, beating Illinois, some of those corporate sponsors that backed away might say, hey, man, all right, I like this. This is the community's enthused, the state's enthused. Let's ride that wave.
It's a different structure though from the 1890 era to how it is now. So it's hard to even compare the two setups.
I know.
With how it was done before versus how it's done now and the rules that are in place. So it's hard to even really understand all this because the collective could just collect money and then convert it into nonprofit work and other things.
Now, how's it work?
And now you can't do that. And so but you're essentially just converting money into these corporate deals that you're paying well over market value on. And come on.
I know.
I think it said in the document $5,000 for a 10-minute podcast interview.
Hello.
I don't pay you guys $5,000 for the hour.
I wouldn't
sorry.
expect
Yeah,
you
that's
to.
the going rate now.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
I
Let's,
feel kind of odd.
Let's get the boat back to the shore here.
Yeah. We took it around the
We
lake.
took it around the lake a couple of laps. EJ Barthel's jet skis, by the way, we learned about that the guys.
I didn't.
Apparently, he's got a sweet lake house.
He lives on Capitol Beach Lake,
Okay.
Oh, he lives on Capitol Beach.
Nice.
and the guys go over there and like to ride jet skis.
Okay. Capitol Beach is kind of a nice place.
Oh yeah. When we come back, we're going to talk offensive storylines heading into game week. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show, and we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. This segment of the show brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Modelo. Saturdays are for the gridiron and cervezas.
Oh,
The fight songs, the fans, the rivalry trophies are all better with an ice cold Modelo in your hand. I can just see Steve Sipple right now with one. It's not just game day, it's tradition. And those who keep college football traditions alive deserve a Modelo. Modelo is the official beer sponsor of the college football playoffs. Drink responsibly. Modelo Especial beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks again to Modelo, guys. Excited that we've got them on board as a presenting sponsor here this fall.
Oh, we're really proud to have Modelo. It's a top selling beer in
Number one.
Number one.
Numero uno.
Guys, Spanish is on point today.
I'm from South Omaha, so
I was gonna say, well versed.
Yeah.
Let's get into the offensive storylines though. Coming into this week, no real surprises about like the quarterback. I mean, I think we all are probably in agreement that Latif is the number 2, even though they didn't.
Seems like it.
Rhule did say. I think the real intrigue is the running back room and how that gets parceled out.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to look. It's really, oh, you know what? Like, who's the starter might just be purely dependent on the play call. You know, I mean, it just depends on probably. I mean, it's a 3-man race. We know that. I don't know what order it is. Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey, Jamal Rhule. I don't want to act like we don't know anything. We all talk to people. It sounds to me like Rhule gets the edge. Okay, I'm just gonna say he gets the edge in my mind based on what I hear. Would not be surprised if it's number 25. Is that what number he is? Yeah, he's number 25. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's him. I think he, from what I've heard, gets the preponderance of carries with the one offense, which, you know, that indicates it. And you've heard guys talk glowingly about him.
It's just a matter of experience with him, probably. I mean,
Sure.
you got guys that, I mean, albeit their game logs aren't all that extensive with the rest of the room, but they got more just time at this level than he does. But I think physically, he's got everything you want in that starting room. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the ability to catch out of the backfield. He's got that home run hitting ability, which we saw, albeit a spring game, but you know, he produced the biggest play of the spring game. And then if he can just get his pass blocking chops up to par, that is going to be the separator. And that's with any true freshman that comes in. So I mean, like, he's not behind the curve in any regard. He's just doing natural freshman learning stuff right now. So I think he's got everything that you want in a starting running back. And it's just a matter how quickly his physical tools are able to catch him up with maybe some of the more experienced other guys in that room.
He's got, I don't know why, but he reminds me just off the eyeball test. He looks like Brandon Jackson to me. Like, remember when Brandon Jackson came in, played as a freshman, ended up being a 2nd-round pick. But, you know, an interesting thing we learned about Rhule is he's like almost like obsessed with bowling on his free time. Like, he sometimes goes to Sun Valley Lanes twice a day. Wow. Has 2 bowling balls. I think he's gone like 240, which is obviously
he said, that's good. That's pretty good. You'd like to see him creep closer to that 300 mark.
I mean, he's got a spin.
Do a segment on that later.
So yeah, he throws a spin ball. That's a sure sign that somebody's real about it. If they say they're a bowler and you go watch them and they throw a straight ball, you're not a bowler. But if he's hooking it in there, he probably is a bowler.
He just started too. Like, this is a new development for him, and he's rolling through 245, 240. I mean,
probably pretty good.
Yeah,
probably pretty good.
He's
Give him the edge at running back.
That's like the place where like the legit bowlers go.
That's where the leagues happen.
He's not going to round 1.
The Sharks.
You know, round the
I
one.
do know what round.
Hey, look at that. They got a picture of him. Look at him bowling.
Okay, I want to see this. Let's break it down.
Watch him. 1, 2, 3, fire. Oh, baby. Love it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, he's RB1.
Yep, there he is.
But again, they're going to be careful with how they do that. I mean, I think they want to make sure he's ready for all this. You don't want to just give it to him like right away, because, and I'm okay if he's not like the first back.
Yeah, then, well, I mean, we should mention it. EJ Barthel talked today, Tuesday, and would not tip his hand. In fact, he went back by back and gave pretty glowing evaluations of each of them. Mentioned that Mekhi Nelson averaged 9 yards a touch in the Las Vegas Bowl and had a run called back. Talks about Mosey being 6 foot 215 now, and still
runs like a slot receiver.
So still runs like a slot receiver, but can run it inside too. Of course, he's glowing about Rhule. Even talked about Vince Genatone,
short yardage guys.
Yeah, the top 3 short yardage guys. He said, what did he say? Genatone number 1.
Yeah.
Ives number 2, Rhule number 3.
Yep.
So yeah, you're getting an idea. And some of this is wasted breath. Does it really matter that much? I mean, who starts if it's a by committee deal.
If they use Genatone as their short yardage guy, though, that will be a good story. Just like his senior walk on. He's really not a scholarship guy. He came here on his own.
God, he's an impressive physical specimen. What's his
42-inch vertical?
42-inch vertical.
Him and Jeremiah Charles have the highest on the team.
So he's probably weighing about 220.
Yeah, he was a state.
Well, here I got it right.
He was a state champion. He might be more than 220 right now.
My bad. Vince Genatone, 6 foot 225, 42-inch vertical. Not bad. Not bad at 225.
And he runs 4.4.
Yeah. So you'll see him. You'll see him out there.
Seems like you could find a role for a guy like that.
It's kind of perplexing that he's been on special teams, but just with that speed, I think just haven't been able to utilize him.
Haven't found a home for him.
So this will be a good senior story if he even just has a small role as a back.
Also, we should mention that Barthel stands by his contention in the spring that this is the best running back room he's had. He's adamant about it. I think he gets tired of hearing people question the room. Well, I know he does because he kind of indicated that today. He said, "You guys are we always hear the heat, you know."
Well, why wouldn't you? There's no returning proven production in that room. You got a bunch of guys with potential. None of them done anything.
Not much. Well, not anything, but not much.
I don't think people liked when we were all like saying, "Why didn't they take a transfer?" Like that was
they didn't like that.
That was a big talking point for a lot of people, not just us.
The coaches didn't like it. Holgerson has made that clear. Barthels,
they did take a transfer.
They did.
Kicked him off the team.
They did take a transfer. They did. That'd be Tyke Hayes.
Yes.
For those who have forgotten, that was a very quick little marriage out the door.
Ended pretty quickly.
Yeah. So there's your running back room. What's your read on right tackle, guys?
I mean, do you think it's Gatula? I mean, I think the Babalade injury, missing time,
probably paired with the Gunner playing really well, and Rhule coming out and saying he's one of their best 5. I mean, seems like all the stars are aligning for Gunner to be the guy there. But is that a situation where they also rotate there? I mean, you can do that. That's within the rules. So, I mean, again, I think whoever the first snap who's on the field for that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be your starting 11 come November. I think there's still a lot of competition that's going to play out, especially during these first 3 games, and running back and right tackle right at the forefront.
And don't you always kind of say, and I believe it, that what matters most is who's on the field last.
Who's finishing.
Yeah, who's finishing.
All right, when we come back, we're going to shift over to the defensive side of the ball and some of the bigger storylines to hit on as we get ready for game week. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Back here on the Husker Online Show, Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. We're brought to you by Crani-Yum. You can find Crani-Yum at your local Hy-Vees across Nebraska and Iowa. 70 locations in Mega Saver and select locations of U-Stop and surrounding areas. And now at our newest location, Sapp Bros. New flavor, strawberries and cream as well, has been released. We've tried it for the record, and the retailers will launch it, as will the website, on September 1st. So check out their store locator on their website to find a store near you. That they're adding stores daily. That changes, so you can always find out if you can just buy it right by your house. If your favorite flavor, though, isn't carried in the store, you can always order online. Use that code HuskerOnline to get 10% off plus shipping. That's at drinkcranium.com. Promo code HuskerOnline for that 10% off with free shipping. Founded by 2 lifelong Nebraskans and Husker fans based in Fremont. This is the best energy drink on the market. We live on it. We've got enough Crani-Yum here to literally get us through the football season.
We got a big season ahead. We need it.
Yep.
A lot of 2-a-days, a lot of two Crani-Yum days.
Yeah.
Hey, having that at Sapp Brothers is a big deal because this is elite road trip fuel.
Elite.
I know from experience.
Just get me through this show, I'll tell you that.
You were getting a little groggy.
Afternoon, that's when the old man gets a little tired.
All right, well, let's talk defensive storylines. As we talk the depth chart stuff of note, I guess. I think the only one that you're really, really interested on is in the secondary, the one corner spot, and maybe even just how the safety positions play out. But it feels, at least today, that it's Jameer Khan and maybe Dwayne McDougal as your 2 safeties.
That's what it feels like.
Andrew Marshall at corner, Donovan Jones at nickel, and then that other corner spot remains a toss-up with Victor Evans, Jeremiah Charles, and then not Jeremiah Jones. He's a defensive end now.
That'd be wild. And then Danny Odom.
Those 3.
Yeah. those three, and it's probably too close to call. I would think it's Evans or Charles.
And I think the coaches know, but you kind of like to keep it open as long as you can.
Yeah, and Evans, we've talked about a little bit. I'll just gloss over it. Kind of a surprise when as you assess the portal class in January, that wasn't a guy you said look for him to start. Victor Evans came from Florida International. Runs but he's now here's the thing. He's 6'2", 195 and runs a 4.31. He's a Florida kid. You know what Florida football's all about. He trained with Shavers. Shavers alerted the coaching staff to him. So it would make sense. That's especially with that size. I love the size.
And Charles, I mean, he's made as much of a off-season gain as maybe anybody in that defense, because there was a guy you weren't even considering him at one point of being like a starting contender going in, and now all of a sudden he's right up there doing not only podium interviews with us, but breakout interviews with Huskers Radio Network and stuff. So he's being featured both internally as a guy that is starter or not.
That's meaningful.
Going to play a lot, and I think the weight thing is a big deal for him because he needed to get bigger. Because guess what? He made that first start. UCLA said, "Hey, throw it at that guy," and he couldn't stop him. So
the enemy
physically being able to match up better was a big deal, and then kind of getting the confidence back. I think last year playing on special teams allowed him to maybe get his legs back under him a little bit. To now, I think he's in a much better place physically and mentally to push for that job.
I got something for you, Sean.
What's that?
I heard Kyle Crooks was interviewing Orich last week on Friday and said, obviously, the main thing is you got to get a better pass rush. Okay, now that's one thing. Matt Rhule in Chicago said, it's not stopping the run that's the key for us. It's red zone. I always say it's stopping the run. So which is it? Is it pass rush? Is it you got to lock down the red zone, or is it you just got to stop the run better? You can't give up 4.82 a carry. What's most important?
Winning up front. And no matter how you're doing it, whether it's stopping the run, whether it's getting the passer, that's winning up front.
Okay. And that carries into the red zone.
Now, I think last year they were having a lot of assignment issues and alignment issues. We saw that where they got out of whack, they weren't lined up right, or something wasn't read right, and then it led to some huge plays.
How some people are gonna listen to that and go, "How is that possible? What are you paying a coordinator? I mean, how do you not get lined up right?"
How much do you think it was that they were trying to run a 3-man base front, but had to go 4-man a lot throughout the year?
Maybe.
So basically you're straying away from your base defense, and maybe it wasn't a big deal. I'm just kind of throwing out a hypothetical there, but you're talking about misidentifying your keys on certain plays. Well, how much of that is because you're going from different looks up front?
Well, it may be that. I just know it's disheartening for fans to hear that they were often just not lined up correctly.
So, I mean, maybe going 4-man full time was a necessary thing to just eliminate that part of it, the overthinking up front.
Yeah, I think when you do a 3-man in front, you have to have almost perfect personnel on the line of scrimmage. And if you don't, we saw the results. Like if you don't have a Nash Hutmacher or a Vincent Valentine type body to set the table with, it's really hard to do it. And that's why we saw them evolve. They evolved into running more 4-man front last year.
What do you think, Sean, how do you think the pass rush will be?
I mean, Winery should be good. He had a lot of hurries last year. Can they convert those hurries and pressures into sacks?
You know what Roy Manning said though? He said, we're not looking for one guy to, be the all-star off the edge with sweet moves and like a Randy Gregory. He said, we're looking to condense and crush the pocket. And I'm not even talking about, he said, not Sipple, Roy Manning said, I'm not even talking to the guys about sacks. We just want to condense the pocket, make the guy stay in the pocket, because we all know that it's harder for them to complete balls in that situation. So get pressure on the condense, crush, also get pressure up the middle. That to me is so critical. How often did you see Dylan struggle with that, where the middle guys would crush the pocket and he didn't have anywhere to go?
Yeah, right up
Could
the
step up
straight at him.
Yeah.
And then on the converse, Nebraska's like the pass rusher would go wide and there'd be no pressure up front. That pocket would be wide open.
Yep.
So, I mean, I do think I will also say Matt Rhule followed up on those comments saying we still very much want sacks. Like, it's not a deal where they're not emphasizing that, because as Sean mentioned, they got a lot of pressure last year, but they didn't finish. And plays extended and quarterbacks stayed in the pocket and were able to convert third downs because Nebraska couldn't get home to the quarterback and finish the play. So it's a layered conversation where, yes, you need full across the line pressure. And to your point, up the middle would go a long way to where you're not relying solely on just everything coming off the edge.
When you need your corners to kind of jam people up,
disrupt the timing.
I mean, there's a lot of things that go into the defense working, but I think now we're just at this point where it's time to play. Let's see what it looks like. What did Rhule say, that there's about 15 to 18 guys that can play right now?
They consider starter level guys
up front.
No, across the whole defense.
Not up front.
They don't have 18 starting defensive line.
I don't think the 85 Bears had that many guys.
Little lapse there.
Yeah, he said anywhere from 15
to 18 guys.
I think he went up to 19 later in his answer.
I'd like it to be closer to 19, 20, actually. Now that
sounds like a column idea where you just rank the guys.
Yeah, I could do that.
Who are the 15 to 18?
Who are the 15 to 18? I could do that. Some of it wouldn't be that interesting until you get to that like 15 to 18.
There's a lot of empty calories in that.
Yeah, you know a lot of them.
And then who needs to join that list to get to that 18 to 20?
Well, and like at corner,
what are we waiting on?
Do you do all those? I mean, it's complicated.
I
at
count
some
them.
of these positions.
They're both pushed for starting jobs. Clearly, they're starting level.
Danny Odom, and I mean,
you go down to Odom.
I would.
So at rush edge, do you use 4? Do you use Anthony Jones, Cam Lenhart, Pedshak, and Winery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you go one more?
On the interior, though, do you go beyond 3?
That's the question.
Van Poppel, Stoudemire, and Whittington. Then after that, I don't know if you could say Tyson Terry or somebody yet.
Yeah,
I would put those in those.
Would Terry be 4?
Contenders?
Who else would be 4?
Well, it'd be Leffa 2 in that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Berryman, Terry.
Who else? Read it.
Hufkin.
Gabe
Moore he's your guy.
This is the first time I've heard his name all camp.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he played a lot last year.
Absent
because they had to play him.
Well, he does got experience, so experience is critical. He's an upperclassman. Terry I mean, I love him. I love the kid, but he's a redshirt freshman. We saw what it looked like with Hutmacher. It was a long road for Hutmacher, but he got really good.
And Terry is bigger right now at this age than Hutmacher was at this age.
Well, we'll see on this one.
All right. When we come back, Abby Barmore will join the show. We'll take your questions in the mailbag. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Back here on the Husker Online Show, Sean Callahan, Steve Sibyl, Robin Washut, Abby Barmore. Before we get in the mailbag, this segment of the show brought to you by Chubbies. Phenomenal, comfortable, high quality clothes. They have shorts, shirts, you name it. Swimsuits. They're going to get you set up and then most importantly, the NFL gear, the NFL products. Robin, you got the Giant shirt, right? Last year.
Yes. The Giants polo. They're not those though. Those are new ones.
Mine have got like a newer, a newer look. Oh, there's a Chiefs one.
There you go, Sean.
I look like Andy Reid wearing that thing.
Wear that on Labor Day.
Sibyl's got his Raiders one, but great products at Chubbies. The shorts and the swimsuits, particularly, are high quality. The shirts, you're going to get a really, really unique, high quality product with Chubbies. Check them out on their website. Your new wardrobe awaits. Get $20 off your full price purchase at Chubbies with the code Husker at chubbiesshorts.com. That's CHUBBIES shorts.com/Husker. Thanks again to Chubbies for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. Abby, let's go right into it. Where are we going in the mailbag?
In 2024, Nebraska ranked in the top 10 in run defense. They were in the top 10 of pass defense last season. So what are they going to rank higher in this year, pass or rush?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
I lean towards pass because I think people are going to really try to run it at them.
There's the answer. That's astute, Sean. They're going to test that interior line. And it would really behoove Nebraska to come out even in these early games and I don't know, I want to say shut it down, but shut it down. I mean, you maybe can. If they did, it would help a little bit.
How much do you think Nebraska's offense plays into that discussion? Where if they're playing faster and scoring more points, and therefore the defense is on the field more, and their opposing offense has to go point for point with them more so than they did last year,
Then, yeah.
does that skew the pass defense numbers compared to what they were last year when teams didn't necessarily have to throw the ball around the field a lot?
Yeah, that's why, Abby, due respect, these stat discussions to me in football are not totally meaningless, but often pretty meaningless. Like this, it's so dependent on myriad factors.
Well,
I'm not a stat guy. I mean, I watch the games. I don't need somebody feeding me stats to understand it.
So with the way you play in the Big Ten too, naturally you have less possessions, less plays, which means less yards. I'll use the UCLA game as an example.
Okay.
Nebraska had just 3 possessions in the first half in Pasadena. They scored 21 points. You know, the yard total was maybe not super high because it was just 3 possessions.
I think what you look for is efficiency stats, and especially in the Big Ten. Nebraska was a top 30 defense last year. I mean, some of that's just what Sean's talking about, limited plays in the league. They were top 30 nationally, but like 9th in the Big Ten. So what's that mean? When you say top 30 defense, all right, that sounds great. Little misleading though.
Yeah, just the style of the league doesn't really, you're not going to see defenses give up 500 yards.
Yeah, and double check that, people, listeners. I think they were 9th in the Big Ten, like middle of the pack is my, if I'm wrong on that, you can comment in the comments section.
They will.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
I
think it was middle of the pack.
How many position groups do you see Nebraska having in the top 6 units of the Big Ten and the bottom 6 units?
That's a hard question.
Without really understanding the depth of all the, I mean, I feel like the receivers have to be in the top 6.
I would think so.
And I'd like
not in the top 3, but top 6.
I'd like to think their edge or defensive end group is flirting with that. Beyond that, I don't know how many I'd go. Maybe there's their overall kicker and punter group, but the league has so many good kickers and punters. It's hard without really. I mean,
what about offensive line?
Yeah, I was going to say,
top
what about
6.
O-line?
What did Phil Steele have? I mean, they're close.
Yeah.
They're close.
Oh, Phil Steele really likes Nebraska's offensive
I think
line.
he had him 23rd in the country.
So they could knock on that door, right?
But like quarterback is so loaded in this league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see him 9th, Calandria, like
Running
9th,
back's
10th.
loaded.
Yeah. Yeah. But Barthel says he's got his most talented room. His comments would suggest he thinks they would be top 6, right? Like if he were sitting here, he'd say, yeah, I think we could be in the top 6. It's the best. It's the most talent I've had here. Just saying.
All right. Next question.
Outside of Nebraska, which Big Ten team are you most intrigued to watch this season?
Go ahead, Sean.
You know, week 0, I want to watch USC because I do think Lincoln Riley has his best team. He has his best schedule, at least as far as the non-conference. They don't play Notre Dame anymore. So they have a chance, and they're huge favorites against San Jose State. That's an NBC game on Saturday.
Hasn't been to the college football playoff in 5 years
Nope.
yet. Needs to. Their schedule's so tough. Won't happen. It won't. They're not making a playoff. Schedule's too tough.
9-3 would be good at that schedule. But
Yeah, that would get them in probably.
and remember, we talked about when they dropped Notre Dame, it was going to be like Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, like all in a row, or it was like something ridiculous like that. Where
There's the schedule right there. Thank you, Megan.
so yeah, before
Check that
they
schedule.
dropped Notre Dame. Notre Dame was going to be between Ohio State and Indiana because that's their open date.
Probably a good call dropping that one. I'm always intrigued by Iowa. For one, just because of the rivalry connection. But then also, like, every year you're like, all right, this is the year that Iowa falls off. And then every year Kirk Ferentz does Kirk Ferentz things and has them 8-9 wins. And just a pain in everybody's butt all season long. Like, Iowa lost a lot on defense. They lost, 7 starters? So, like, there's a theory out there, and they lost their special teams coordinator. What is Iowa always the best at? Special teams. So, like, they must replace a lot this year, but yet people are talking about a preseason top 25.
Yep.
So, like, what type of Iowa team are we going to have this year? Is it going to be it's Kirk Ferentz, so therefore they're always going to be at this level, or did they finally lose enough to where they're going to come back to earth a little bit?
Yeah, I heard Phil Steele on a show, and he was going through all their losses, and then he projects 9 wins. They're like, "Well, you talked about all they lost. Why do you still think that?" And he just went to Kirk Ferentz.
I know.
I'm like, God, is the head coach that?
I feel like that theory is going to be tested as much as ever this season.
I'm going Oregon. I think Oregon. I like Oregon to win it all. I just went to the top of the league. I know, but that's as talented as Lanning's talented roster as Lanning's had.
It's title or bust.
That's according to Joel Klatt, who I listen to. Yeah, it is title or bust, and he hasn't had good success in the playoff. But I think this will be the year they break through. They have everything.
I'm even interested in just Wisconsin, knowing that there's a new AD there.
Yeah,
PJ Fickle.
Yeah, that's probably the hottest seat in the conference.
PJ Fickle has
Luke Fickle.
Did I call him PJ Fickle?
PJ Fickle.
Interesting combo.
PJ Fleck and Luke Fickle had a baby.
Luke Fickle.
PJ Fickle. Sorry, PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Wisconsin's always interesting just for that hot seat discussion.
All right. Before we get to our final question, the HuskerOnline mailbag is brought to you by who, Steve Sipple?
Oh, you sprung it on me a little bit here. Larson Motors. You know the deal. They have all those major brands. The key is they have all those major brands at that lot in Nebraska City. Chevrolet, GMC, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Hummer, all of those. Also, go to the website. You might just go to the website, then go to Nebraska City. It's LarsonMotorGroup.com. Larson Motors.
Real people?
Real deals.
Was I supposed to do the real
Shut that up.
The opposite.
Did I just take your line?
Yeah, organically switched it up. I liked it.
Good.
There was kind of that long pause there, but all right, no more times for pause. Let's get into it. Final question, Abby.
Okay, our last question in honor of the late, great Dolly Parton who passed away today. What is your favorite Dolly Parton song?
Well, I'll say the movie Working 9 to 5. I thought was a really
You like that song?
And Working 9 to 5, just her having to go work. I mean, it was that was kind of a groundbreaking movie at that time with women in the workplace. And Abby probably has never seen the movie.
I've not seen the movie. I've
Dolly
heard the
Parton.
song.
Yeah.
Robin, you came in today and had an interesting fact about her.
Okay, so she wrote Jolene, all-time classic. She wrote I Will Always Love You, all-time classic. Later covered by Whitney Houston. Wrote those songs on the same day.
Jeez.
I believe it was 1972, 73-ish. We talk about two of the most iconic songs an American's ever written. I'd put those two right up there.
She was like Taylor Swift well before Taylor Swift. I mean, as far as like her global iconic
impact,
global impact.
Yeah, as far as that goes. Oh God, yeah. I mean, Dolly Parton was gigantic when I was a boy. So 50 years ago. Hello. I mean,
50. How old was she?
80.
And she looked like she was still 50.
Does that line up? I think it lines up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we just watched a video of her singing Rocky Top at the Tennessee game with Peyton Manning 2 years ago. Looked great for 78.
Sounded great. Too.
Sounded great.
I don't have a favorite song of hers. I liked a lot of them.
You're just a big fan of her.
Well, I wasn't. I mean, I'm not a non-fan. I mean, I recognize her impact on this in this world, particularly this country. But I mean, He'll Come Again. That song comes to mind a lot. I like that one.
What's crazy about Dolly was like,
I think that's what it's called here. Yeah, something like that.
We've all aged, but she hasn't.
Yeah, not
like she still looks good.
Yeah,
for being 80.
Yeah.
Like, rest in peace. I mean,
R.I.P. Yeah.
Abby, did you have any Dolly Parton?
I love a lot of her songs, but something I just want to say about her, she's a very charitable woman. She gave away a lot of her money, and she spent a lot of time helping people that had a lot less than her.
Thank you, Abby.
And she brought a lot of joy to everyone's life with her wonderful music and movie.
She got into children's books too. She turned Coat of Many Colors into a children's book that both of my kids read thoroughly in their
think about what she
lives.
did. Abby nailed it. She just brought a lot of joy. She brought a lot of joy. Good job, Abby.
All right. When we come back, we'll close the show. You're listening here to the HuskerOnline Show. Final segment here of the HuskerOnline Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut, Abby Barmore still joining us here. We'll talk a little volleyball, but The final segment brought to you by HelloFresh. And school's back in session. Your kids' fall sports are back going on. You've got Husker tailgating and all the other stuff going on Saturdays. You don't have time, what I'm getting at, to grocery shop, get all the things done that you want. We're kind of running into this right now at our house. Like, the time you get home, the last thing you want to do is figure out like what and how you're going to cook it. Well, HelloFresh does that for you very easily. They send it all to your door. They have several meal options, whether you like spicy, keto, GLP-1 friendly, protein, steak, chicken, vegetarian, you name it. They've got it. Hundreds of options to pick from. Some can be made as quickly as 10 or 15 minutes, and some take a little longer, but they give you the easy to follow recipe card, the meats, the produce, all the things you need, the spices, and boom, you've got a great meal with HelloFresh. And we've got a great offer right now with Husker Online. Go to HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM now, and you'll get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast item for life. That's one box with an active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only. It varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast item for life. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online show. All right, Abby, I want to get into volleyball because it's a big weekend. They opened the regular season. They had a huge exhibition on Thursday. Give us a rundown of what Husker fans are in store for here to open up the regular season.
Yeah, so the regular season starts in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Nebraska faces UNLV on Saturday night at 7 on FS1, and then they play number 2 Texas at 2:30 on Sunday on Fox. Ooh. So that is a massive match. Obviously, it's even more important now that it's number 1 versus number 2. And Nebraska and Texas have not played since the 2021 national championship when Texas kind of embarrassed the Huskers. So it is a huge match. It is a kind of a wild way for Nebraska to start their season. With such a high opponent. UNLV will be good for their first, official match. And obviously they played on Thursday, got a match or two in. So that was a great experience for them. But there is going to be a lot surrounding not just the games, but right there in Vegas. It's this huge event. I'm sure there's going to be so many people there. There's a lot of chaos to also filter through when they're playing their first couple of matches.
What I love about volleyball, unlike football, is like they open the season good on good.
Oh yeah.
Like they understand like how big these matches are for the tournament, but the AVCA event that always kicks volleyball season off, it's essentially dang near like a Final Four level event every year.
Yeah, they had 8 matches. It was at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And, there was, I want to say 5 top 15 teams there. And it was crazy to see, right? We got to see number 3 versus number 6 and number 7 versus number 6. And, Texas lost their first game of the season to number 12 Arizona State in 4 sets. And they barely bounced back. They beat Milwaukee and Marquette in 5 sets. Just barely. So they're off to a kind of a rough start to their season. So I'm even more intrigued to see what they can do against Nebraska and how they'll kind of adjust and settle in.
When's Nebraska eligible to be back in the AVCA challenges? Next year or another year from now?
Another year from now. So you can only play twice in a 4-year span from my memory. So Nebraska, when they brought it back, they played in Louisville in 24. PBA last year, right, in 25, and then Pfizer Forum this year, then one more year, and then they can go back in it. But they do it that way just so they can mix up all the teams that are
otherwise
competing.
Nebraska would like be a mainstay in that thing.
Yeah, and right, like it's great experience. You get to start a week before everyone else, and obviously you start right away, and you're probably playing a top 10 team if you're Nebraska. So there's not really a warm up here. You just jump right in usually for college volleyball.
All right, Robin, I want to close on this now. Thank you, Abby. And it should be some great volleyball this weekend, but I want to close on the 5-for-5. The Big Ten has come out with more of a definitive statement where the league's at with 5-for-5 and bringing these former professional football players back into college football.
Yeah, basically they announced that they're going to prohibit that whole concept of Big Ten schools taking players that have had any sort of professional football experience. And so here's their official statement that was announced on Tuesday afternoon. It says the Big Ten Conference announced Tuesday the unanimous adoption of a conference rule to prohibit football players who have signed a professional contract or on a professional roster at any point or declared for the NFL draft as an underclassman without withdrawing from maintaining eligibility for athletic competition at a conference institution. The conference continues to evaluate potential rules restricting professional athletes in other sports from conference competition.
What's going to be interesting is Indiana's got a couple of guys in the Big Ten, defensive linemen, that they're waiting on. Pete Thamel on the Pat McAfee show weighed in on that, said both of those guys were injured. So to my knowledge, neither signed an NFL contract. Their eligibility was up. They didn't have to declare for the draft. So they may be able to come back via a state injunction, Thamel said. In my mind, there would be some wiggle room for those guys. So within the Big Ten, pretty significant for Indiana. If there's still a back door for a couple guys, which if you're Nebraska, you hope that there is not a back door.
A backdoor injunction. We've heard a lot about backdoor injunctions in college sports. Good common sense move by the Big Ten. Just nip it in the bud. You know, Lane Kiffin at LSU doesn't have to take that tight end. You don't have to. You don't have to take them. I mean, there's no rule that says you have to take them. Just don't take them.
It's Lane Kiffin's nature, though, to cause chaos.
Do things until they tell you can't do them anymore. That's his philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't necessarily need it.
His basketball cohort's pretty good at that too. Will Wade.
You are not a fan of Will Wade, are you?
That athletic department is really establishing themselves as maybe the villains of the century in college athletics.
That'd be a fun Christmas party.
Because they just do things to screw things up. Like that's all they do. That's what Will Wade has built a career on. It's what Lane Kiffin is just making old LSU become, where they're just taking guys that were playing in NFL preseason games. So yeah, sure, why not? What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it?
Well,
we'll see, Greg Sankey. What are you going to do about it?
Old Miss, they've accused Lane Kiffin of like bugging the football offices.
Yeah, the FBI they had the FBI do a sweep of the offices.
Crazy.
I mean, the Lane
That's what I'm
Kiffin
talking about.
30 for 30. When we even hear and learn more about just some of the stuff, like it will be an interesting 30 for
Lane,
30.
I think this is his 7th head coaching job. I mean, say what you want about him. He's aggressive, hyper competitive. You don't get 7 head coaching jobs without being hyper competitive.
So
He was a head coach for the Raiders in his 30s or maybe 20. I don't.
So Tennessee,
You can just look
USC,
on- yeah.
the Raiders,
I believe I'm
Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, and LSU. I'm missing one in there,
You might be missing one.
but yeah, I know of 6 right there. But yeah, it's remarkable.
Yeah, it's remarkable. It's impressive. To me, it's impressive. It didn't always go well for him,
Now
but
he's just on a
still,
warpath to blow
he
up the
landed
game.
job after job. So he had to convince an owner and AD 6 or 7 times, whatever it is, that I'm your guy. Impressive that you can do that.
Yeah, and his career has been so long, you almost forget about all the places he coached before.
Not even that old.
He's born in 75 for
way younger than I am.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I'm trying to. So he's been a head coach at USC, Oakland. God, of course, Wikipedia doesn't break
Should
this
be on
down.
top
Tennessee,
right?
Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, LSU.
6,
6. Okay, yeah, I was like 7.
not 7. 6.
Yeah, fact check there.
Thank you.
Still very impressive, regardless.
Just got to wonder why he has to do these things.
Born in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I don't understand it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, it's not. We don't need to live in a world where guys are getting cut in NFL camps and coming back to college.
Well, we saw it with basketball this year too, right,
Yeah.
Robin?
Yeah, I mean that was more like G League guys, but yeah, like so it just blows my mind that like we're seeing On3 graphics get posted, you know, where they do like the schools they've been to. It's like 3 colleges, 2 pro teams, and now back to another. It's like that's not what 5 for 5 is supposed to be. It doesn't mean play for 3 colleges and 2 pro teams, and now you're on your 6th school in 5 years or 6th entity.
See, the Big Ten just said
what are we
enough.
doing?
The
Yeah,
Big Ten just said
at
this. We're
some
not doing
point, let's just like be adults
Yeah.
and say this is not how it's supposed to happen. Stop doing it.
It tells you how much
Lane
money these guys
will.
in college.
get. Yeah.
They can go back to college and make significant money.
I mean, unlimited booster money versus restricted,
Mhm.
like entry level pro money when you're on a practice squad or a G League team, is nowhere near.
It's like 240,000
Yeah,
a year.
It's
So
low
you can go
six
back to
figures.
college and make more than that.
you can make double
No
that,
question.
triple that.
Yeah,
No
100%.
question.
Especially if you play the right position.
All right. Well, good
Fun.
show, guys.
Yeah, good job yourself over there.
We'll be back Friday with Husker Online headlines, but also again next week schedule changes a little bit. Will be Tuesday and Thursdays.
Okay.
With Husker Online post game live on Saturday. So 3 shows still, just a different in season schedule. But for Abby Barmore, Steve Sipple, Robin Waschat, I'm Sean Callahan.